Okay, Empresses, so we are on the part three of protective styling and how to maintain it. I'm going to talk about some of the do's and don'ts when you are taking down your extensions. I have a lot of posts on my blog, but I'm going to talk about it. There's no a demo, but I'm going to take you through what you can do. And the reason is there's no one way or one correct way. You have to find what works for you. So I'm going to share about 3 or 4 ways you can take down your extensions without damaging your hair. Let's start with technique number one. I call it the warm oil takedown. So the first thing you will need is any oil of your choice, preferably coconut oil. One, because I find coconut oil to be readily available. You can get it anywhere to buy. You can use coconut oil. You can use olive oil, which is also very common. You can use sunflower oil, the one we used to cook, to take down your hair. And that is because these come in larger quantities, so you can pour a lot and use at a go. If you're going to take down your style, the first thing I always say is cut off the parts that you want to take down. Okay, so with this, I might cut it from here so that I don't have tangles from this point coming up here, and then I'll be pulling and pulling on the hair. Once you cut off the tip, you are free to remove it. When you start from this side, even if you want to reuse your hair, cut off the ends. By the time the ends are old, they are really twisted and knotted up, so just cut off the ends. You can't do much with the ends, so you cut it off, then you take it down with your pin or pointed object or a comb with a pointed mouth. Then you take it down. That is the first thing you do. This cutting would make it easy for you to pull out the hair without knotting it up. Then I know how difficult it is when you have a knot in and you don't want to cut your own hair. So you take it down and you do for all that you have on your head. When you are done, warm the coconut oil either on fire or microwave. Just pour it in a bowl, heat it up for about 30 seconds, dip your hand in it and start from the root of the extension that you're taking out. So after taking it out, you realize that you get a lot of buildup at the root. So put the oil there, massage it in. Do it for every part. Sit for about 5 to 10 minutes so that the oil will soak into the hair very well. Then use your fingers to separate your hair. So you start with where the knot is, then you separate it gently. When the oil is there, it makes it so easy. It gives it a lot of slip to take it down. That is the first thing you can do. Again, the size of your braids or your hairstyle will determine how fast you can work on each section. If your braids are big enough, pulling it apart to take down the debris or the build up is very easy. If you had tiny braids, I would suggest you use a needle or a pin and then you take off the knot first. You pull it down. Just pull it down. And I find that that technique works faster than just trying to pull it apart. So you are picking out the knot that build up and not necessarily trying to pull it apart. And I find that technique to be faster. So you sort of you are removing the knot and then I will sunny upon a film and sun away sunny. So you remove the knot, take it off, and it comes off in bulk. So once you take it off, your hair is free. You need to be patient. You need to be very, very patient when you're doing this. This is the point where you can cause a lot of damage and breakage. So you remove the knot one after the other. If you go to the salon, the danger is that they'll be in a hurry or a rush to take it down and may not follow this technique. So if you want to maintain your hair properly, try and do it at home. When you're done, you can go and wash it at the salon. Unless you have a very patient stylist like mine, you can take the risk. My stylist is very patient. My hairdresser is very patient. Okay, she'll take a chair. Of course, she's going to charge me for it, but she's very patient. So take down one after the other. That's the first technique. And as you take down, keep applying the oil. So you're going to drench your hair in the warm oil. You're going to actually drench it. Then after that, use your big tooth comb or wide tooth comb. Take off one section, comb, take and comb. Now the combing, start from the ends as usual. So you start from the ends of your hair, then you comb and get out every leftover knot. And do that about 4 or 5 times till everything is out. Do not use a small tooth comb at this point. Do that for the rest of the hair until every knot is out. There are certain styles that are difficult to handle, like the zip. If your hairdresser does not tie the zip properly, it tangles up a lot. And I realize that a lot of times we tend to take those styles to the hairdressers to take down, and there's more damage. When you're going to take down the zip, cut the knot that is on the zip, the part they tie, baby machichiri knot, no, so more zip now where they tie the knot. Use scissors to cut off the knot. When you cut off the knot, it's easy to pull out the zip. This is one trick that a lot of people don't know. Where they do the knot when they are doing the zip, that tiny knot, cut it off. When you cut the knot, you've undone the zip that is protected, because it's the knot that holds the zip in. So once you cut the knot, your style will come off easily. But if you want to take it down like the normal boss braids, you're going to have a lot of tangles and you're going to end up cutting your hair. So cut off the knot. Baby machichiri was zip no, I don't know my bokono. Upon if you want to, put upon if you want to man. When you have the finish up zip ni baby, and you just take it down. That's a trick with taking down zips. That's it. So that's the first way to take down your extensions or your braids when you are done. Technique number 2. I call this technique the water technique. This can be a bit of a challenge if you do not have flowing water. This is what I found with flowing water. You have your oil in your hair, then you stand under water and you use the direction of the water until the so sharp way head or the handle or pale now being used. Make sure the water is flowing consistently. Then use your wide tooth comb, and then in the direction of the water you detangle your hair. Ensure no flow no. How the tina shas here? How the afino? But again, make sure say where ye first knot no and sana who did you know. Aye. So when ye knot no, now did you come with a bit more. So the first thing is to make sure you've removed all the knots first, and then you get under the water. Then you use the direction of the water to comb out the hair. The third thing, again, after you remove the knots, you can use a conditioner, and the conditioner should be warm one, and a conditioner with a lot of slip. Then you apply the conditioner, add oils to it, and then you comb out the knots. I find this technique also very effective. Conditioner plus oil, soak it in, wait for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, let the hair really absorb that mixture, and then you use your wide tooth comb. Again, make sure you section your hair. She will minimum about 6 or 7 so that you do not tangle it up. So you work section by section. Before we half now, then you apply the conditioner and the oil. Now oil means those conditioners and those you saturate the place. Then you use your wide tooth comb. It brings out the knots very quickly, very quickly. This technique really works well for those who have thick natural hair. I find that it really works for the naturals that way. So that's the technique number 3 to take down your knot. Then the last one, which I call the lazy takedown. If you have nowhere going, then you can just use your fingers to part the knots. You don't need oil or anything, just use your fingers to part the knot. Okay, so when you finish, not that you are pulling the hair, look at your cheek. So you hold your hair like this, then you pull it apart a bit. Then you put in the oil. Into why not a quite bit of warm oil, no, you dip it in, and I realized that when you focus the oil on only that part, you just use your hand to pull on side knot, no, when you start massaging it, you find the knot rubbing off, it will start peeling off. Maybe about porn, go to the pornacasa start to say chiba, then you just pull it out. So if you do not want to use a pin and you want to use your hand, apply the warm oil there, massage it in, and as you massage, you realize that the knot will start rolling up, balling up, and rolling down. So those are the 4 techniques that I've learned over the years in taking down my extensions. If if you want to use any of these, you can practice with your hair. So you can do one section with oil, one section with conditioner and oil, and see which one works. Okay, just a little section. There's always room for improvement. See, what's with enough so whom you know, with me standing in time, with me you can create just 2 or 3 of the hair. Now I'm gonna here, then you comb it out. Then the second section you can mix the conditioner with the oil, then you comb it out. Then you see which technique will help you finish quickly. That's a trial and error. So you just take 1 or 2 sections and see 1 or 2 sections, and then you see which one will work faster. That is how you can make it easier. So I hope this explanation really helps, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the share button, hit the notification button, so that when I post new videos you would get notified. And once again, thank you for staying with me through the series. I'll be bringing more videos. Stay blessed.